family friend Hinckley. There, by some miracle, Reagan survived, and Daddy Bush did not become president, as he was about to become should Reagan had died.
And we got to mention something about the Hinckleys there, Tom, for a moment, is the fact that Hinckley, the one that shot Ronald Reagan, that night, his brother was at Neil Bush's birthday party in Denver, Colorado.
Yeah, they're shameless, aren't they?
They're shameless. These people are just worthless. Go ahead on the presidential coup d'etats.
Yeah, and then we, of course, had the Iran-Contra, in which George Herbert Walker Bush basically decided he would not take a second term and avoid being impeached. So he allowed his business partner, Bill Clinton, and his sociopath, lesbian-in-the-closet wife, Hillary Clinton, to take office. Although Clinton's election was done with a lot of tricks involved. Ross Perot being on the ballot certainly was the key. And, of course, Clinton needed Al Gore in order to carry part of the American South and make California out of reach. So basically Gore elected Clinton. If you recall, folks, in that 92 election, Clinton was stuck in third place behind Daddy Bush with Ross Perot in first place before he picked Mr. Gore. Then, of course, let's see, now year 2000, George Herbert Walker Bush, the night of the election night of 2000, coordinated a direct choice point software, NASA satellite coup d'etat, which electronically maneuvered votes out of 6 states in this union, which effectively stole the presidential election from then Vice President Gore and allowed his sociopath, monkey-brained son, sexual deviant George Herbert Walker Bush, a.k.a. George W. Bush.
Cocaine snorting homosexual in the closet. I mean,
right, AWOL, cocaine snorting, nation wrecking, to take office, which eventually had to be done with the appointment of him by the Supreme Court of the United States, even though his opponent had 500,000 more votes. And trust me, folks, if all the votes were actually counted, Gore won by over 3 million, including the states of Florida, Missouri, West Virginia, Tennessee, and New Hampshire. So that's so you can see when we talk about George Herbert Walker Bush, the man has done everything he can from the late 1950s to the present day to destroy the United States of America and everything that it stands for, all for the purpose of empowering his satanic group of Knights of the Templars and other sociopaths and sickos to basically take this country over, loot it, and now finish it off by actually destroying it and its population.
You know something, Tom? I've always pushed on this Knights Templar bankers, the 100, but I've come to find out some things. An educational process we all go through sometimes. What they did is they hijacked the Templars, which were a Christian sect, back in the medieval days, in 1100 and so forth, and they hid behind them. And they hid in their group in order to do their business because they had shipping. The Templars did. They still to this day, they have a fleet of ships. And I'm aware that, what we should refer to Bush as is what he is, an Illuminati banker, one of the 100 Illuminati bankers. Been on New World Order, been on the destruction of the world, population, everything. They're satanic. They worship Satan. Let's make it clear. Now, Tom, you touched on the things George Herbert Walker Bush has done in the past. Currently, folks, he has done a biological attack on America in the past 3 months. He was involved in shooting down Air France as a result of 24 federal agents aboard, French agents and U.S. intelligence agents, who had the proof and evidence that these Illuminati bankers planned on to destroy America and kill tens of millions, if not possibly 100 million people, with the flying pig flu. He calls it the pigs will fly in September. That's the name of the operation. The pigs will fly in September. We have 53,000 people in the United States dead as of today, according to CDC. They're only reporting around 10,000. People are dying left and right and left, and they're coming down in the Middle East or in the Midwest. They're coming down with all kinds of different flus. Now, I've talked to a couple doctors about this. They're saying that they're told by the government not to report it as the bird flu or the swine flu, but to report it clearly as one thing, the flu. Send them home and let them go through it. Or tell them to take the shot. If you take the shot, you have a live, not a dead, but a live virus in the shot. And because there's so much outrage over this, now they're sending people home with a device you shoot in your nose, some kind of mist. You shoot the virus in your nose. Definitely going to kill you. Let me take it a second further. I've come to learn this week that the tsunami that hit the Somalia Islands was staged, folks. There were 3 earthquakes, reporting 1 earthquake. There were actually 3 earthquakes. They're using HAARP-type technology that was developed years and years ago, clear back in the 1930s and 40s, by one of our scientists, and that was Nikola Tesla. And I'm going to give you an education on this real quick. The technology has grown since the 40s when they did the Philadelphia experiment and made a battleship disappear in a harbor out of Pennsylvania. That you can go to Blockbuster videotapes and get. It's called the Philadelphia experiment. Look at Tesla technology. The Nikola Tesla Center in Colorado Springs. It's a museum. It's probably up online. There's a lot of information. It deals with free energy. It deals with HAARP. It deals with flying saucers. And it deals with space-time, which is all hooked up into these super colliders, the one in Switzerland and the one in Texas they currently have operating. They have used those super colliders and the current technology that they have. They're able to, with like on the swine flu, they're using nanotechnology where they use a computer and other devices, and they're actually able to radio frequencies to unleash these viruses that they have dumped on the American people with their chemtrails.
Right, so there's a lot of plant life that has been dying lately. Have you noticed that?
We have noticed that. In the past 3 years, there's been major concern about all this viruses they've been dumping on everybody because it's killing the bird population. I mean, the bee population. They're
parking this fine swine flu in the plants.
This I don't doubt, Tom.
And they can use nanotechnology to accomplish that because the stuff is airborne. So their technology can maneuver the flu around as they wish. I know, folks, this sounds absolutely unbelievable. It's the truth. You are dealing with sophisticated assassins who are now decided that they want to basically, the American people know too much now. They can't control us anymore, so they're going to kill us, or they're going to try to.
Now, I want to go further here for a minute, Tom. I'm in agreement with you. What they're doing is, if everybody has noticed since July, we've had a 25 to 30 degree difference in our temperatures between daytime and nighttime. We've had such a mild summer in the Midwest. Other parts of the country have experienced the same thing. We've had 80-degree days. We've had 55-degree nights. Unbelievable difference in temperatures. Now, I just on the phone with somebody in one of the upper states in Nebraska and someone in Iowa today. They're telling me that the temperatures dropped down a couple nights ago to freezing, which is unheard of this time of the year. What I have heard on this, the reason that there's the difference between the highs in the daytime and the lows at night, this has been intentional by George Herbert Walker Bush, using the technology that is available to him as a former president, constitutional officer, Illuminati banker, his position in the New World Order, controlling 100 Illuminati bankers controlling 90% of the wealth. They have used, they've gone to a different level.